You have probably heard many successful people talk about the importance of reading books. You have also heard them speak about gratitude and the power of visualizing their future. These ideas are often repeated in interviews, books, and speeches given by people who have achieved extraordinary success. At first, many people dismiss these ideas as simple motivational advice. They think these habits sound good in theory, but do not really matter in the real world. But when you take a closer look at the lives of people who have built remarkable success, you start noticing a pattern. These people are not just working harder than everyone else. They are thinking differently. They are training their minds differently. They are intentionally building habits that strengthen their mindset every single day. While most people focus only on external results, like money, status, or lifestyle, highly successful people focus on something deeper. They focus on the habits that shape their thinking, because they understand that the way you think eventually shapes the way you live. When you carefully observe the lives of people who have built extraordinary success, you will notice something very interesting. Their achievements did not happen overnight. Their success was not created in one lucky moment. It was built slowly through consistent habits practiced day after day, year after year. These habits changed the way they saw the world. They helped them remain focused during difficult times. And they gave them the mental strength to continue moving forward when most people would have given up. Most people believe wealth is only about money or luck. They think that some people are simply born with advantages, while others are not. But the truth is much deeper than that. Wealth usually begins long before money appears in someone's bank account. It begins in the way a person thinks. It begins in the beliefs they hold about themselves and their future. And it begins in the small habits they practice every single day. There are 3 powerful habits that many successful people share. These habits may seem simple when you first hear them. In fact, they are so simple that many people underestimate them. But when practiced consistently over time, these habits can completely transform the direction of your life. Those 3 habits are reading books, practicing gratitude, and manifestation. When these habits become part of your daily routine, they slowly reshape the way you think, the way you react to challenges, and the way you pursue opportunities. Let's start with the first habit that attracts wealth, and that is reading. Reading is one of the most powerful habits shared by many highly successful individuals. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett once said that he spends around 80% of his day reading and thinking. Bill Gates has often talked about how reading books helped him expand his knowledge and make better decisions. Elon Musk has mentioned that he learned many important concepts about rockets simply by reading books. These examples show that reading is not just a hobby. It is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. When you read books, you are essentially gaining access to the experiences and knowledge of people who have spent years mastering a subject. A single book can contain lessons that someone learned after making hundreds of mistakes and overcoming countless challenges. Through reading, you are able to learn these lessons in a fraction of the time it originally took to discover them. In many ways, books allow you to borrow wisdom from people who lived before you. Unfortunately, most people rarely use this powerful tool. Instead of reading something that improves their thinking, they spend hours scrolling through social media or watching content that disappears from their memory within minutes. There is nothing wrong with entertainment, but when entertainment becomes the main activity of your free time, your mind slowly stops growing. Successful people understand this difference. They treat reading as an investment in their future. Reading expands the way your brain processes information. It introduces you to new perspectives, new strategies, and new ways of solving problems. When you read books about business, psychology, finance, leadership, or personal development, you begin to see patterns that others may not notice. You start understanding why certain people succeed while others struggle. Over time, this understanding gives you a powerful advantage in life. Experts often describe this as building mental models. Mental models are frameworks your brain uses to understand situations and make decisions. The more you read, the more mental models you develop. This means when you face challenges in life or business, your mind already has a reference point for how to respond. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can think strategically. This ability to think clearly in difficult situations is one of the biggest advantages successful people possess. Another important aspect of reading is that knowledge compounds over time. Just like money grows through compound interest, knowledge grows through consistent learning. Reading 10 pages a day may seem small. It may feel like it will not make a big difference. But when you multiply that habit over months and years, the impact becomes enormous. 10 pages a day can easily turn into 10 or 12 books in a year. Over 5 years, that becomes dozens of books that reshape the way you see the world. Imagine two people starting their lives at the same point. One person reads consistently for 10 years, while the other reads nothing during that time. Their thinking will eventually become completely different. The person who reads will develop deeper understanding, better judgment, and stronger confidence. Their decisions will likely lead them toward better opportunities. Over time, these differences in thinking will create very different results. Now let's move to the second powerful habit that attracts wealth, and that is gratitude. At first, gratitude may not sound like something connected to success or money, but in reality, gratitude plays a powerful role in shaping your mindset. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Be thankful for what you have, and you will end up having more." This statement reflects a fundamental truth about how the human mind works. When a person constantly focuses on what they lack, their mind enters a state of scarcity. They begin to believe that life is unfair, or that success is reserved for other people. This negative thinking slowly drains motivation and confidence. Over time, it becomes difficult to see opportunities, because the mind is focused only on limitations. But when a person practices gratitude, something powerful begins to change. Instead of focusing on what is missing, they start noticing what is already present in their life. They recognize their strengths, their opportunities, and the progress they have already made. This shift in perspective creates a feeling of abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending life is perfect. It simply means acknowledging the positive aspects of your life while continuing to work toward improvement. When your mind is filled with appreciation rather than frustration, your emotional state becomes stronger. You become calmer, more focused, and more optimistic about the future. Many successful entrepreneurs practice gratitude as part of their daily routine. Some of them write down 3 things they are grateful for every morning. Others reflect on positive moments before going to sleep. These small practices train the brain to notice progress instead of constantly focusing on problems. When you appreciate what you already have, you begin to build a powerful sense of confidence. You start believing that life is full of possibilities rather than limitations. This belief changes the way you act. You become more willing to take calculated risks. You become more resilient during difficult moments. And you become more motivated to pursue your goals. Now let's talk about the third habit practiced by many top performers, and that is manifestation. Manifestation is often misunderstood. Many people think it simply means wishing for success or hoping that something good will happen. But true manifestation is much deeper than that. It is about clearly visualizing the life you want to create and aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions toward that vision. Arnold Schwarzenegger once shared that long before he became a world-famous bodybuilder and actor, he could already see his success in his mind. He imagined himself winning championships. He imagined himself becoming a star in Hollywood. Even when his circumstances did not match that vision, he continued to believe in it and worked toward it every single day. Visualization is a powerful mental technique used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and performers around the world. When you repeatedly imagine your future in detail, your brain begins to accept that future as something possible. Your mind becomes familiar with success before it actually happens. Once your brain accepts that possibility, your behavior begins to change. You start noticing opportunities that align with your vision. You start making decisions that move you closer to your goals. And even when obstacles appear, you remain committed because your mind is focused on the bigger picture. Manifestation becomes truly powerful when it is combined with discipline and action. It is not about dreaming without effort. It is about creating a clear picture of your future and then building daily habits that move you closer to that reality. When you combine these 3 habits together, They create an incredibly powerful foundation for success. Reading expands your knowledge and strengthens your thinking. Gratitude builds a positive mindset and helps you appreciate your journey. Manifestation gives you a clear direction and vision for your future. Together, these habits slowly transform the way you see yourself and the world around you. They help you remain focused during challenges and motivated during uncertainty. They remind you that success is not something reserved for a few lucky individuals. It is something that can be built through consistent effort and intentional habits. Success rarely happens overnight. It is built slowly through small actions repeated consistently. Reading a few pages every day, practicing gratitude each morning, spending a few moments visualizing the future you want to create. These habits may appear simple, but over time, they create extraordinary transformation. The truth is that wealth is not only about money. Wealth is about becoming a person who thinks clearly, acts confidently, and moves through life with purpose. When you build habits that strengthen your mind, success begins to feel less like luck and more like the natural result of your actions. Your future is not something that randomly appears. Your future is something you create. And the habits you practice today are quietly shaping the life you will live tomorrow. So start today. Pick up a book that expands your thinking. Take a moment to appreciate the opportunities already present in your life. And close your eyes for a few minutes to imagine the future you truly want to create. Because the life you dream about will not be built in one moment of motivation. It will be built through daily habits practiced with patience, belief, and consistency. One page, one moment of gratitude, one vision of the future, one habit at a time.